all. We need to just say, "Hey, Tommy,
Are
you
we
we're
on?
live. We're live.
Are we on there?
We're live."
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl,
You
how
no
doing?
warning whatsoever. I thought we got 1, 2, 3. You're on.
Well,
Set.
you did. You were
Oh.
talking to Mr. Wonderful.
Hey, Mr. Wonderful. How
Mr.
you doing?
Wonderful is joining us, but let me say Tommy Bennett is here. We've got so much to talk about. We've got to catch up, though. What have you been doing?
Girl, it has been a busy year already. And my grandmother used to always say, if I can make it through January and I can make it through February, I sure can March.
Well, this is what we're in. We're in March.
And we're in March, and we truly are going to March.
Yeah.
It's a big day in the South
That's right.
with the election.
Very important.
It's very important, and I'm just so excited to see the election returns tonight, to see how well. And it was a beautiful day, and I'm sure everyone went out to vote.
Absolutely. Right now, we know that Hillary is leading in the polls. The polls just closed a minute.
They just closed
ago.
at 7 p.m.
That's right.
And hopefully people really got out today to vote.
Right. Right. And we do have, I want to say this, we're going to have some more people joining us. We have one seat there. That's from Marcus Hughes. He's here tonight.
He is.
He's in D.C. You're here. Mr. Wonderful is on the phone. Mr. Sound Off Guy will probably be calling you too. What do you think about these characters on the show that we have?
I know. They call in. Have you ever seen these guys?
No, I haven't. Mr. Wonderful, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fair, just under the weather a little bit.
You're wonderful.
I'm getting cold. Yeah, the weather's changing up. I did something to me yesterday.
Yeah, the pollen and the weather change has gotten a lot of people.
Yeah, a little different. You know,
Well,
we go
listen.
from 70 degrees to
Yeah.
50 degrees, back and forth.
Yeah, let's jump right into the show because we've got so much to discuss. We want to start locally first because local is where we are. We are in Danville. You're a Danville native. Tonight we want to talk about and deal with the elections. Tommy Bennett. We have a big election May 3rd here in Danville. There are so many questions going on, Tommy. People are asking me who should they vote for. One of the main questions, though, that a lot of people have for you tonight is what is this thing? Why are you saying don't vote for Lee Vogler? People are still asking that question. And I'm glad you're here because he's here. And if you have any questions for him, you can call in and ask him, what is it about Lee Vogler?
I have an iPad, and hopefully people have a computer. If they don't have an iPad, they have a computer. The word is Google. And all I say, Google Lee Vogel. It will tell you his background. And it'll tell you exactly what he stands and what he stands for. I said do that with all of your candidates. But Lee Vogel is a person, and I'm just going to say it. He is not in the favor of black people.
How do you know that?
Number one, I read his background page. Anytime you vote against Medicaid expansion, anytime you vote against affordable health care, anytime that you vote against certain taxes, anytime that his first time around, he voted to keep the flag up. It was the pressure that he was under the second time around.
Wow.
The first time around, he was like,
I want to challenge you on something, though, because even Brian Hood, who was here last week, and then, of course, I have been seeing Lee Vogler at a lot of events in the African-American community. He had a meet and greet at Brother Pete's today. We know that...
well, it's election time. Of course
so you're
that's
saying
going to
it's before
happen.
election. But what about before election, when you see him out in public at a lot of events, a lot of non-Christian events, non-political events in our community?
What's your point?
I'm
A lot of folks show up. The devil shows up at every event. The devil shows up at church.
Someone even asked me, did you have a personal issue?
I have no
with
personal
Lee
issue.
Vogler?
I have no personal issue whatsoever. I just think that people need to, if you're going to vote, you need to vote and know what people are standing for. You need to be educated on what you are voting for.
Let's show his picture, Fabian, and all of the candidates. But go
That's
ahead.
what you need to do. I was riding through town today, and I've seen a lot of his signs and a lot of black people yards.
Okay.
And I was like, evidently they can't read or they don't know what he stands for. They just going by, and for a person to say, oh, I think he's a nice person, I think he has some young ideas, or I think he support hip hop, I think he support this. He showed up at my door with some bottled water. He showed up at Pete's and got a couple of hot dogs.
Well, let's talk about this. And Mr. Wonderful, we're going to get you to jump in too. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, this is from Lee Vogler's page, and this was March 14th, dated March 14th. He said, we're setting the record straight. One question that often gets asked is, what have you done on your time on council? He says it's a good question. This is what he said he's done, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Tommy. He says he's voted to hire more police officers. He's proposed new solutions to reduce crime. Proposed and created open data Danville that's increasing government transparency. He said he proposed and passed a solution that prevented a bus fare increase. Proposed and passed cutting several fees, eliminating the $50 library fee. He's worked with Delegate Danny Marshall on creating land bank legislation that will reduce blight, strengthen neighborhoods, and save taxpayer money in Danville. And there's so many more. I'm going to read one more. He's also supported eliminating the burdensome regulations and red tapes, making it easier for food trucks to operate in Danville. And he serves on the Regional Industrial Facility, that's the RIFA, that has played a vital role in bringing hundreds of jobs to the region since 2012. And that's just a few of those things. He also says that he supports the Danville Youth Council, which gives a voice to Danville. So out of all of these things that Lee Vogler has stated and more, you can go on his page, Lee Vogler for Council. What do you think about that list? Does that not make him a credible candidate for city council?
Well, I give him 2 lollipops.
Wow. Okay, just 2. Just 2. Mr. Sam, while we're getting you straight, keep that picture on the line. Mr. Wonderful, what do you think?
Well, some of those are good reasons to vote for him.
Okay.
I don't think they need to increase the police department. I think that's a waste of money.
To increase the police department is a waste of money?
Did you say that he voted to increase, to have more police in the city?
No, I didn't at all. You need to pay attention. Come on, Mr. Wonderful. Keep up.
Well, I couldn't hear it. So what did you say when you first started out?
I said that Mr. Vogler, yes, he did. He wants to hire, you're correct. I need to keep up. He voted to hire more police officers and also proposed new solutions to reduce crime. More police officers.
Now, those are the things that he said he has done. Do we know whether those things are true? Have you seen a difference? You live here every day. I don't. Have you seen? This is what he said.
Right. Well, okay, let's do this.
That's the first time he ran. He ran around the city with Brian Hood, Beth Ann James. He was running around and never said that he was a registered Republican who was waiting on the bus at Marriott's Diner. Now, how was that?
I hear you. I'm
now,
listening.
Did he invite Brian Hood and everybody black that he has signs in their yard? Did he invite them to meet George Allen, Mitt Romney? Did he invite all the folks who were running against the President Obama? Did he invite them to that meeting? I was there covering news. Mm-hmm. I saw it with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was right there at Marriott's Diner with the bus, smiling and shaking hands and agreeing. Read. All I said, read.
Right.
Read before you put your sign in your yard. Read about his background. Now, You're going to vote for someone that's on the team with Trump?
How do you know he's on the team with Trump? Because he says he's a Republican.
Who's not if you're a Republican?
Right. I'm here. I hear you. Mr. Wonderful, what do you think? Then he did say that he wanted to hire more police officers in Danville.
It's a waste of time.
A waste of time. What do you think, Tommy? A waste of
Spend more
time.
money, decrease the police department, and get a taxpayer back the money. Because, as a matter of fact, I don't think you got too many police for that city.
What do you think, Tommy?
Well, I think the crime is outrageous in Danville at the present time. I think they need to have more community policing and probably may need to rearrange the police that they have and retrain. And I think the officers all need body cams. They need to be retrained and know how to work with these different communities.
Right.
So that you can have them at the schools and they can be a part of the community. I don't know the ratio of the police department versus what's going on, but I do know, I read and I see every day that the murder rates and the crime rates has increased in Danville.
I want to go back to something, Tommy, because, and let's keep his picture up on the screen. We're going to run down each candidate and we're going to get opinions on each one as we are moving fast into the elections. I want to go back. I am a little disappointed because Councilman Vogler did reach out to me a few weeks ago on Facebook, and we talked about an interview, especially since we knew that you were so adamant and wanted to express to people, don't vote for Lee Vogler May 3rd and look at his background. And I want to be fair that you're saying you want to look at every candidate's background, what they stand for and who they are. But I want to go back because when I reached out to him and talked to him about coming on the show, he did not want to do a live call-in show. He said he was concerned about the callers. He was concerned about some of the remarks that may be attacking his character, attacking who he is. So he said he didn't want to come on. We could set up something like a taped interview. I'm a little disappointed in that. The station is too, because he doesn't want to buy any advertising time for his campaign. What do you think about that as a candidate? And I'm not talking about Lee Vogler so much. It's just a candidate who is running for city council, this is a station, Tommy, that we cater to the community, good and bad. And you have a candidate saying no? What do you think?
Well, I think, and it's public knowledge, I think you need to pull, or as a city, people who are voting for him need to go down to City Hall and pull his financial record and see who's supporting him. It's listed. He has to report it.
But shouldn't a candidate be as visible and as accessible as possible? And hold on, caller, I know you're there. But I mean, saying that you don't want to do any campaign commercials, you don't want to come on television, but then you say on Facebook you are accessible.
Why spend money coming on television, radio, when you got black people running around town working for you?
Who are the black people you're referencing?
Anybody who's in his camp.
Okay.
Is in his camp. He got the, why should he? He got the Brian Hood crowd working for him. And so as long as they're there, he can save money. He can give those folks, and I'm sure if he went to Pete's today, I'm sure he bought all those black people chicken dinners.
Wow. We do have one of our most controversial callers on the line. Meet Tommy Bennett, Mr. Soundoff Man. Mr. Soundoff.
How you doing, Tommy?
I feel good all over, sir. How
Come
you doing?
back to us, Fabian.
But Mr. Vogler will not come on TV because he's scared of me, Tommy.
And he's afraid of me. I asked him for a
He
debate.
don't want to talk about the tobacco money where $6 to $8 million has been stolen because some of that money went in city council's pocket because they okayed the money. Don't think they didn't get some of it. And IDA is nothing but a real estate company in Danville, and somebody's making money off of that too with the Blake program.
Right.
Now, what is your opinion on that?
Now, I did my investigation, and I do know that an audit is supposed to be conducted about the tobacco money, and it's some missing money. And we learned that through Christopher Joy.
That's right.
When
Maserati
Wills defunct, and $600,000 went into someone's bank account, but no one knows because no one signed the back, and no one can give an account where that $600,000.
And our city manager is deceased. Joe King is no longer with us. So
right.
He
can't answer the question, but they were asking this young man to pay it back. He said, "Pay it back? I never received a check." But they have a record showing that the check had gone out.
Go ahead, Mr. Soundoff.
Mr. Bennett, we have a company here named Armet, and they built armored vehicles, so-called. Well, they took the tobacco money and they went out of business, and one of them partners went to Canada.
Right.
So then the other partner goes up here at Wicks Lumber, the old building, claims he's going to build them in there, and he gets another $600,000. I went up there to apply for a job because I seen movement, and there was 2 maintenance men in there.
Wow.
I got an application. The maintenance men in there working, and they come over to me when I was filling out an application, said, "Buddy, ain't no need in doing that." Said, "This company will never open, but they're going to take your tobacco money." Well, then the tobacco money got took, but then a big wheel here in Danville, I won't say his name, got partners with him and made arrangements somehow, because now this guy is building things to put on the trash trucks. You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Well, he owns a big machine company here in Danville and a restaurant and this and that. He went in partners with him. But let's talk about Mr. Vogler. Mr. Vogler is a liar. Because he's a politician. All politicians are liars, but he's not a good liar.
Right.
Now, he sat up there in the city council meeting. I don't know if you've seen it the other week. And the train was stopped up here in my neighborhood, and Mr. Shanks couldn't get off the track. Cross the track. It was stopped for 45 minutes, and he brought it up to city council. Mr. Vogler, this was his statement, and I quote him, "Well, the city of Danville is just going to have to start fining the railroad company." And when he said that, every city council, especially Alonzo Jones, looked at him like he was crazy. Which, if you're making a statement like that, something's wrong, because the railroad's got the right of way above all.
Right.
Let's be honest. IDA is nothing but a real estate company, and this blight thing is nothing but to make money. And if you will follow the money trail, which I'm following, and I'm going to catch them in it, it's going to be a sad day for some people in this city.
Right. Well, you know, the IDA, the same building that Maserati Wills, where the city, along with the young man who's the consultant for the city, Linwood Wright. It's a consultant that no one ever questions about his pay and what's going on.
Right. Or Mr. Gwaltney neither. You remember him, though?
Jerry Gwaltney,
yes.
Our former city manager.
That's so true. All of these folks are consultants. What are they consulting? Now, they put this young man and set him up in the building with his business on Lockett Drive. Now, after they put him out, the building has now been condemned.
Exactly.
Absolutely correct.
The building has been condemned. Now, a year before, it's a business that you're going to hire over 200 people. Now, today, the building is condemned for asbestos.
Leave it right there. And Mr. Soundoff, I'm not hanging up on you. If you can hold on, we'll love to have you in the next conversation, in the next segment. Can you hold on for a moment?
Yeah.
I've got to take a break. Tommy Bennett is with us tonight, and I'm so glad that he is.
Oh, I love coming home to Danville.
We love having
it's
you
a
here.
Beautiful city.
And listen, not only are we going to be talking about, it's not just Lee Vogler tonight, we're going to be running down all of the candidates, and Marcus Hughes is going to join us. The other thing I need to mention is we're going to go over time tonight. We usually end around 7:57. Well, guess what? We are extending the time just because we have a special guest here tonight, and so that you can have the opportunity
For me?
to call. It's all for you.
Oh, I
all
love it.
for you.
Oh.
We'll be right back.